Hello, my beautiful souls. I am Minerva's Moon, crone witch, shadow worker, and keeper of the old magic. Come in close. The circle is warm. Step in, breathe deep, and let the ancient wisdom rise within you. So, let me tell you, today, and I'm not complaining, at work I had an extra long lunch break. So, I went into my car to relax, and I figured, why not do a video on this? Because I've been wanting to do a video on this to share with you guys. And yeah, change the environment, change the scenery. Let's do it. Let's talk today about things that happen when you step into your spiritual awakening, okay? And listen, there are so many layers to this that I'm going to break it up into a few videos, okay? Because if not, we'll be here forever. But for now, I just want to focus on some of the signs that are the strongest that show up when you start spiritually awakening. So the very first thing that you're going to notice are repeated numbers. It's like 111, 222, 333. You know, you go to the supermarket and it's $3.33, right? Then you go to maybe the grocery store or somewhere else and it's $33.33. You look at your phone to see what time is it, and guess what it says? It's 3:33 p.m. or a.m. for that matter, right? Now, people call these angel numbers, and you know, there may very well be angels that are sending you this, but it's deeper than that, okay? It's not, I don't want you to think of some random angel sitting up in the clouds somewhere pressing a button and spitting out numbers. It's not that, no. These numbers are a form of communication. It's a language of energy. Something out there is trying to communicate with you. It could be your higher self. It could be your ancestor. It could be your spirit guides, or maybe the divine itself. You know, and for me, for example, the number 3 is very sacred. It's my favorite number. And it's the number that my sister, who has transcended, uses to try to communicate with me. She knows it's my favorite number. And so when she tries to get a message through, she'll use repeated number 3s, like a tapping on my shoulder saying, hey, I'm at the other side. Remember, I need to speak to you about something. So maybe we could start learning numerology so that we understand what these numbers mean. So if we ever see this, at least we know what they're trying to communicate, what the meaning behind it is, or what they're trying to say. Sometimes you could just ask out loud, you know, what are you trying to tell me? You know, and the universe always speaks. We just have to learn to listen, because we have lost that, you know. Now, the second thing that happens during spiritual awakening is you'll think of something and then it happens. Now, I'm not talking about a spooky way. That's not what I'm saying. And it's not in, oh, you're manifesting something instantly way. No. It's more like your intuition. It's like your intuition is waking up and it's whispering, hey, pay attention. You know, and let me give you an example. The other day I was in the highway and I was behind this semi, and I did not want to be behind a semi. And I think most people don't like being behind semis. But as I went and I started speeding, I was behind him in the middle lane. I went to the left lane and I'm speeding going around him. I looked at those tires. I said, those tires are huge. And I was like, man, these semis, they suffer these blowouts. I wonder how it feels for them. And then I started thinking, I wonder how it would feel for me if my tire blew out all of a sudden. I didn't say it out loud. I didn't try to manifest anything. It was just a passing thought. But something inside me shifted, you know. And I went into the middle lane in front of him. I decided just to go to the right lane and slow down. Because, I mean, going fast, I wasn't in a rush. Why was I to go nowhere, right? So I slowed down and I became more aware of my surroundings. And then guess what happens? Yup, you guessed it. My tire popped. But because I had already felt it coming, I was calm. I pulled over safely. There was no panic. There was no chaos. And there was just awareness. And yes, other than waiting for the AAA to come, nothing else was annoying. But let me tell you, I was grateful because I was protected. Now, you may ask yourself, why do these things happen? Well, it's because we're all part of a network. It's a web of energy that connects us all. You know, I like to imagine it as if it was a golden thread that runs from heart to all of us, you know. And when you're awakened, you start noticing that thread pulls. and you start feeling the signals, okay? You start hearing the whispers. Everybody has the ability to do it. The only difference is because you started awakening, now you're more aware. You know, as children, we're born with this, and instinctively they're really good at intuition. But we start growing up and we start getting conditioned and we get in our heads, and now we lose the ability to notice these things. But when you start noticing these numbers, when you start trusting your gut, when you start feeling those shifts that happen inside of you, then that is when you really realize that you are awakening more and more. And the more you grow in this path, the stronger your connection is going to be. Because this is just the beginning. Just the beginning. Now, also, you're going to notice, okay? The third thing is you're going to realize that things don't just happen out of coincidence. There's no such things as coincidence, okay? Nothing is random. Everything has a purpose, a rhythm, a divine timing behind it. Every single thing that happens. You can't convince me otherwise. And you know, I know it's easier said than done to think of this when your life is all perfect and flowy, but it's a whole different story when things start falling apart, right? You have this beautiful plan. You do everything right, you're checking off all the boxes, and then suddenly the whole thing collapses. You know, it slips right through your fingers. At that moment, you have to start trusting the process. Because it's always, you know, I've told you guys this before, okay, so this is no secret. I like to be in control. I feel like I need to manage every detail of every outcome in my life, okay? But awakening has forced me to soften, to breathe, to surrender, to understand that when something doesn't work, it's not punishment, but it's protection, it's redirection, it's alignment. You know, things don't just happen to you, they happen for you. That's a good way of thinking it. Things don't happen to me, they happen for me. And it's always for your highest good, even when it doesn't feel like that in the moment. Now, in our next video, we're going to explore these things. We're going to explore how people shift in and out of our lives, what manifestation looks like during awakening, why gratitude becomes a spiritual amplifier. And yeah, it's going to be a really good video. So wait for that one, all right? Well, my friends, as the circle closes, carry your awakening and your magic with you. Awaken your soul and honor the craft. Walk in your power. As above, so within. As within, so becomes. Blessed be, my beautiful ones. Till the next video. I gotta go. My lunch break is over.